Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Elshahat and I'm a PhD candidate at McMaster University doing research of physical activity behaviors among immigrants. Today I'm going to give you a presentation on the complex leisure physical activity needs as they relate to mental health in Arab immigrants based on findings from the Can Heal Community Engaged Research Project. First, I would give a quick background on the topic. Physical inactivity is a major public health problem and a leading risk factor for many non-communicable diseases, including mental health challenges. And the annual health care and societal costs of physical inactivity are estimated to be about $15 billion in Europe and nearly the double in North America, around 29 billion. Research showed that physical activity has the potential to positively impact one's mental health and well-being. It can be a helpful mental health promotion strategy, especially with the alarming rates of mental health issues. As you can see here from this bar chart on the bottom right-hand side, the prevalence of mental health issues is highest in Australia, Canada, and the US, 20% each. The relationship between physical activity and mental health can be critical among immigrants and refugees, whose physical activity levels and mental health can be affected by various stressors, such as changes in physical environment and racism. From 2015 to 2022, Canada received over 400,000 Arab immigrants and refugees, whose number has been rapidly growing in the West. The proportion is highest in Canada, where Arabs make up 2% of its total population. Preliminary research found that Arab immigrants and refugees in Canada encounter distinct psychosociocultural barriers to physical activity, particularly in the leisure domain. Examples include fear of post 9/11 harassment and gender stereotyping and bias in sports. These barriers resulted in disproportionately lower attendance at leisure physical activity programs, placing this population's mental health at risk. Despite all the unique barriers and issues the Arab community faces around leisure physical activity, there is a gap in leisure physical activity and mental health research among this population. Specifically, there is a need for culturally sensitive research that works collaboratively with the Arab community to collect reliable data and develop tailored evidence-based interventions. That's why we actually conducted the Can Heal study. This study aimed to explore experiences and determinants of leisure physical activity participation as they relate to mental health among Arab immigrants and refugees, as well as examine the relationship between leisure physical activity and mental health among this population to inform culturally sensitive programs. The main goal is to promote leisure physical activity and mental health among this population. This study adopted an innovative, collaborative, community-based participatory research and integrated knowledge translation approach, which ensures equitable partnership between researchers and community, with engaging knowledge users such as practitioners and policymakers. While community-based participatory research has been widely used for many years, the integrated knowledge translation approach is relatively new. It dates back to the late 1990s Canadian Health Service Research Foundation, and then it was updated in 2007 by Canadian Institutes of Health Research. Integrating both approaches provides a great opportunity to make use of their advantages, namely co-identifying areas for social reformation and policy change, and co-producing applicable knowledge that is meaningful for service improvement. Regarding the methods, this study used a multi-methodological approach with triangulating the findings of 3 different methods. 60 Arab immigrant adults from Ontario, Canada were recruited and participated in the study. They completed a socio-demographic questionnaire survey that involved also questions about leisure physical activity participation. 50 participants of the initially recruited 60 people participated in 1.5 to 2-hour qualitative interviews over Zoom. Then 12 photo voice sessions were held with 26 participants. Each session was limited to 2 to 3 people to enhance in-depth conversation. The data analysis was guided by an integrated biopsychosociocultural framework that integrates the complex and multi-layered reciprocity between human biology and broader environment to comprehensively examine the complexity of leisure physical activity and its relationship to mental health. This slide shows the socio-demographic profile of participants. They were diverse, different age groups. About 73% were females. About 57% were established immigrants with 5 years or more length of residency. 53% were voluntary immigrants, and at least 33% had a low annual income of lower than 40,000 Canadian dollars. Participants were from across different sized cities in Ontario with ensuring representation. Our study found an alarming level of physical inactivity. 87% were physically inactive. Overall, participants exhibited knowledge of recommendations and the importance of leisure physical activity for one's mental health. They perceived leisure physical activity as enjoyable body movements that help relieve stress and prevent illnesses. Most preferred leisure physical activity types reported by participants were walking, hiking, gardening, biking, basketball, football, swimming, gymnastics, and weightlifting. However, participants reported different economic, psychosocial, cultural, and environmental factors that hindered leisure physical activity and impacted mental health negatively. These factors include lack of availability of accessible spaces, stigma, social pressures and stereotyping, Islamophobia, racism and hate crimes, time pressures, pandemics, specifically the COVID-19, and weather, particularly the snowy winter in Canada, and lack of availability of culturally sensitive resources. Our study found that intersections between various sociodemographic factors resulted in substantial leisure physical activity inequities. These include intersections between age, gender, income, religion, immigration status, geographical location, disability, parenthood, and length of residency. We found a complex and multidimensional relationship between leisure physical activity and mental health. Leisure physical activity was reported to impact mental health through various psychosociocultural mechanisms. These include eliminating negative energy and enhancing emotional healing, relieving pain, acts, and relaxing body-mind, building body-mind connection and self-care, releasing also mood promoting hormones, promoting physical health and endurance and staying energetic, building self-esteem, mastery, satisfaction, and resilience, strengthening familiar relationships, reducing loneliness, and enhancing socialization. And for outdoor leisure physical activity, also providing refreshing and liberation feelings, connecting with nature, and promoting spirituality. In conclusion, Arab immigrants and refugees have knowledge of recommendations and the importance of leisure activity for one's mental health. An alarming rate of physical inactivity was found. Various socioeconomic and structural barriers hinder leisure physical activity participation, and the leisure physical activity and mental health relationship is complex and multidimensional. And both community and political level actions are needed to achieve equity in leisure physical activity and improve mental health. Finally, I'd like to thank all collaborators, partners, and the Can Heal team members and participants. Thank you so much to my abstract co-authors. Thank you so much for listening today, and I'll be happy to receive any questions. Thank you.